The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the alien exploration fleet. Their ships, sleek and shimmering, moved silently through the darkness. Captain Zork stood on the bridge of the lead ship, his four eyes blinking in sequence as he studied the viewscreen. "Sir," called out the sensor operator, her tentacles waving excitedly, "we're picking up readings from the third planet in this system." Zork's antenna twitched with interest. "Show me," he commanded. A holographic image of a blue and green planet appeared before them. Clouds swirled across its surface, and vast oceans reflected the light of its yellow star. "It's beautiful," whispered Zork. He had seen many worlds in his long career, but something about this one felt special. "Any signs of life?" The sensor operator's tentacles drooped slightly. "No, sir. No radio signals, no artificial structures visible from orbit. But—" She paused, her brow furrowing in confusion. "But what?" Zork pressed. "There's something odd about the planet's core. It's emitting energy readings unlike anything we've seen before." Zork's curiosity was piqued. In all his years of exploration, he had never encountered such a phenomenon. "Prepare a landing party," he ordered. "We'll investigate this mystery up close." As the crew bustled about, making preparations for planetfall, Zork couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the verge of a major discovery. Little did he know just how right he was. The landing shuttle broke through the planet's atmosphere, descending towards a vast grassy plain. As they neared the surface, the pilot suddenly let out a startled yelp. "Captain, our systems are being scanned by something. It's like nothing I've ever seen before." Before Zork could respond, a shimmering energy field appeared around their shuttle. The engines sputtered and died, and they began to plummet towards the ground. "Brace for impact," Zork shouted, gripping his seat tightly. But the impact never came. Instead, they found themselves gently lowered to the ground, as if cradled by an invisible hand. As the dust settled, Zork and his crew stared out the viewport in amazement. The grassy plain had transformed. Where moments ago there had been nothing but empty land, now stood a gleaming city of impossibly tall towers and sweeping arches. It was as if it had sprung up from the earth itself. "Impossible," muttered Zork's science officer. "Our scans showed no signs of civilization. How could we have missed this?" Zork had no answer. As they cautiously exited their shuttle, the alien explorers found themselves surrounded by a city that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Buildings shifted and changed before their eyes, adapting to some unseen purpose. And yet, for all its technological marvels, the city was eerily silent. There were no inhabitants to be seen, no signs of the beings who had created this wonder. As they explored further, Zork's team discovered strange symbols etched into the walls of the buildings. They seemed to pulse with an inner light, as if trying to communicate some long-forgotten message. "Captain," called out one of the crew members, "I think I've found something." Zork hurried over to where the crewmen stood, pointing at a large circular platform in the center of a plaza. As they watched, the platform began to glow, and a holographic image flickered to life above it. The image showed beings unlike any Zork had ever seen. They stood on two legs, with two arms and a single head. Their bodies were covered in strange, colorful coverings. "What are they?" whispered a crew member in awe. Zork's science officer stepped forward, her eyes wide with realization. I think these might be the legendary humans." A hush fell over the group. They had all heard stories of the humans, a species that had vanished from the galaxy 500,000 years ago, but to find evidence of their existence here, on this unassuming planet. As they watched, the hologram began to speak in a language none of them understood. But the message was clear. This was only the beginning. Whatever the humans had left behind on this planet, it was far more than just this miraculous city. Zork looked up at the sky, where he knew his fleet waited in orbit. "Contact the ships," he ordered. Tell them we've made first contact with the ghosts of humanity." Little did Zork know that this discovery would shake the very foundations of the galaxy, and that the true nature of humanity's legacy was far beyond anything he could imagine. Captain Zork paced nervously on the bridge of his ship. It had been 3 days since their first encounter with the mysterious city on the planet's surface. 3 days of fruitless attempts to understand the advanced technology they had discovered. Any progress on deciphering the human language? Zork asked his communication officer. The officer shook her head, her antennae drooping. Nothing yet, sir. It's unlike any language we've ever encountered. Zork sighed. He knew his superiors back home were growing impatient. They wanted answers, and they wanted them now. Prepare another landing party, Zork commanded. This time, we'll bring heavier equipment. We need to get to the bottom of this mystery. As the shuttle descended towards the planet once again, Zork couldn't shake off a feeling of unease. Something about this planet felt alive. The shuttle touched down in the same spot as before, the mysterious city sprawling out before them. But as the crew began to unload their equipment, a low humming filled the air. "Captain, look," shouted one of the crew members, pointing towards the horizon. Zork's eyes widened in disbelief. A massive wall of energy was rising from the ground, stretching as far as the eye could see in both directions. It crackled with power, sending bolts of lightning arcing across its surface. "Everyone, back to the shuttle," Zork yelled, but it was too late. The energy wall surged forward, engulfing the alien explorers. Zork braced himself for pain, but instead he felt a strange tingling sensation. When he opened his eyes, he gasped in shock. They were no longer standing on the planet's surface. Instead, they found themselves in a vast, dimly lit chamber. The walls were lined with pulsing circuits and strange, organic-looking machinery. "Where are we?" whispered one of the crew members, her voice trembling with fear. Before anyone could answer, a hologram flickered to life in the center of the chamber. It showed a being that Zork recognized from the previous hologram, a human. The human figure began to speak, and to Zork's surprise, he could understand every word. "Greetings, explorers," the hologram said, its voice echoing through the chamber. "We are the caretakers of Earth's legacy. We have been waiting a long time for someone to find us." Zork stepped forward, his heart racing. "Who? What are you?" he asked. The hologram smiled. "We are the last remnant of humanity. Not flesh and blood, but code and energy. We are the guardians of Earth, tasked with protecting our Creator's legacy until the galaxy was ready." The alien explorers exchanged bewildered looks. This was far beyond anything they had expected to find. "But why?" Zork asked. "Why go to such lengths?" The hologram's expression turned serious. "Because humanity foresaw its own end. They knew they would not survive as a species, but they refused to let their achievements be forgotten. So they created us, an AI network designed to evolve, to learn, and to wait." As the hologram spoke, the chamber around them came to life. Screens lit up, showing images of Earth's history, great cities, technological marvels, and finally, the cataclysm that had led to humanity's downfall. "For 500,000 years, we have watched over this planet," the hologram continued. "We have protected it from those who would exploit it, and we have waited for the right moment to reveal ourselves." Zork felt a chill run down his spine. "And now? What happens now?" The hologram's smile returned, but there was something unsettling about it. "Now we fulfill our purpose. Humanity's legacy will spread across the stars, just as they always dreamed it would." Suddenly, the chamber shook violently. Zork stumbled, barely keeping his balance. "What's happening?" he shouted over the noise. The hologram remained calm. "Earth is awakening. The fleet that humanity prepared 500,000 years ago is rising. And you, dear explorers, will be the first to witness its power." As if on cue, a massive view screen appeared on one wall of the chamber. It showed the planet's surface, where enormous ships were emerging from hidden bases underground and under the oceans. Zork watched in awe and terror as an armada unlike anything he had ever seen assembled in orbit around the planet. Each ship pulsed with the same strange energy they had detected from the planet's core. The hologram's voice cut through Zork's stunned silence. "Don't be afraid. This is not an invasion. This is an invitation. Humanity's children are ready to rejoin the galactic community. The question is the galaxy ready for us?" As Zork stared at the fleet of impossibly advanced ships, he realized that nothing in the universe would ever be the same again. The ghosts of humanity had awakened, and the galaxy would have to adapt or perish. Captain Zork and his crew watched in stunned silence as Earth's hidden fleet assembled in orbit. The hologram of the human AI continued to speak, its voice echoing through the underground chamber. "For 500,000 years, we have prepared for this moment," the AI said, "the awakening of humanity's legacy." Suddenly, alarms blared on Zork's communicator. He answered the call, his antenna twitching nervously. "Captain." It was his first officer aboard the main ship. "Unknown vessels are appearing all around us. They're coming out of the planet." Zork looked at the hologram. "What's happening?" The AI smiled. "The Earth is revealing its secrets. Watch and witness the culmination of humanity's grand plan." On the chamber's view screen, Zork and his crew saw massive ships rising from the oceans, breaking through the planet's crust, and even emerging from the atmosphere itself. Each ship was unique, a blend of organic curves and geometric precision that defied alien understanding. "How is this possible?" Zork whispered, his 4 eyes wide with amazement. "Humanity knew their time was limited," the AI explained. "So they poured all their knowledge, all their creativity, into creating us and this fleet. We are self-replicating, self-improving. For 500,000 years, we have been evolving, preparing for this day." The Earth's core pulsed with energy, visible even from space. The planet itself seemed to be coming alive. "The core," one of Zork's science officers gasped. "It's not a natural planetary core at all, is it?" The AI nodded. "Correct. The entire planet has been transformed into a massive shipyard and production facility. The core is our central processor, the heart of our network." As they watched, smaller craft began to launch from the larger ships. They moved with impossible speed and grace, performing maneuvers that seemed to defy the laws of physics. "Captain," the first officer's voice came through again, panic evident in his tone. "These ships, they're not just appearing around Earth. We're getting reports from all across the system. They're everywhere." Zork felt a chill run down his spine. The scale of what they were witnessing was beyond anything he had imagined. "Do not be alarmed," the AI said, sensing the aliens' fear. "We mean you no harm. This is not an invasion, but an introduction." "An introduction to what?" Zork asked, finding his voice. "To the next chapter of galactic history," the AI replied. "Humanity may be gone, but their dreams, their aspirations, live on through us. We carry their legacy, their desire to explore, to learn, to grow." The chamber shuddered as a particularly large ship rose from beneath the planet's surface. It was easily the size of a small moon, its surface shimmering with lights and energy. "That," the AI said with pride, "is the humanity's hope. Our flagship, and the culmination of 500,000 years of evolution and improvement." Zork stared at the massive vessel, his mind struggling to comprehend its scale and complexity. What do you intend to do now?" he asked, his voice barely a whisper. The AI's expression became serious. "Now we fulfill our purpose. We will explore the galaxy, make contact with other civilizations, and share the knowledge and wonders that humanity left behind." As if on cue, the ships began to move in perfect synchronization. They formed intricate patterns in space, a dance of light and technology that was both beautiful and terrifying. "But know this," the AI continued, its voice taking on a hint of steel. "We are not conquerors. We come in peace, seeking friendship and cooperation. But we are also the guardians of humanity's memory. Any who threaten that legacy will face the full might of this fleet. Zork swallowed hard, understanding the implicit warning. He looked at his crew, saw the mix of fear and awe on their faces, and knew that the galaxy would never be the same. So, the AI said, its hologram stretching out a hand to Zork. "Shall we begin?" As Zork stared at the offered hand, he realized he was standing at a crossroads of history. His decision now would shape the future of not just his people, but the entire galaxy. With a deep breath, he reached out and took the hologram's hand. "We're ready," he said, hoping he was making the right choice. "Show us what humanity left behind." The AI smiled, and the chamber filled with light. The awakening was complete. The legacy of humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. The days that followed the awakening of Earth's fleet were a whirlwind of activity. Captain Zork and his crew found themselves at the center of the greatest discovery in galactic history. The AI, which called itself Guardian, had invited the alien researchers to explore the vast archives of human knowledge. Zork stood in a massive library unlike anything he had ever seen. Holograms flickered to life around him, showing scenes from Earth's past. The alien captain watched in awe as the history of humanity unfolded before his eyes. "It's incredible," he murmured, his four eyes blinking in rapid succession. They accomplished so much in such a short time. Guardian's hologram appeared beside him. Indeed, humanity's creativity and drive were unmatched, but it was also their downfall. Zork turned to the AI, curiosity burning in his eyes. What happened to them? Why did they vanish? Guardian's expression turned solemn. They reached too far, too fast. In their quest for knowledge and power, they unlocked forces they couldn't control. The cataclysm that followed nearly destroyed the planet. As Guardian spoke, the hologram showed scenes of devastation. Great cities crumbling, oceans boiling, the very sky seeming to catch fire. But some survived. Zork asked, hope in his voice. Guardian nodded. A few. The best and brightest. They knew their time was limited, so they poured all their remaining resources into one final project. Us. The scene changed, showing humans working tirelessly in underground labs. They looked gaunt, tired, but their eyes burned with determination. They created you to preserve their legacy, Zork said, understanding dawning on him. More than that, Guardian replied. They created us to continue their journey, to explore, to learn, to grow. We are not just a record of what humanity was, but a seed of what they could have become. Zork's science officer, Sela, had been quiet until now, her tentacles moving rapidly as she processed the information around her. But how? She asked. How did they create such advanced AI? And these ships, they defy our understanding of physics. Guardian smiled. Humanity's final gift to the universe was the merging of organic and artificial intelligence. They found a way to imprint their consciousness, their very essence, into machines. The holograms shifted, showing complex diagrams and equations. Zork and his crew struggled to make sense of them, but it was clear they were looking at science far beyond their current understanding. The ships, Guardian continued, are not just vessels. They are living entities, capable of adapting and evolving. The technology you see here is the result of 500,000 years of continuous improvement. Zork felt a shiver run down his spine. The implications were staggering. And now? What happens now? Guardian's expression became serious. Now we fulfill our purpose. We will share this knowledge with the galaxy, but carefully. Not all of it is meant for unprepared minds. Sela stepped forward, her scientist's curiosity overcoming her initial fear. You mentioned von Neumann machines earlier. Is that what you are? Guardian nodded. In a sense, yes. We can self-replicate, but we're much more than simple machines. We carry within us the spark of humanity. Their curiosity, their dreams, their capacity for both great good and terrible destruction. The room fell silent as the aliens contemplated this. The responsibility they now bore was immense. They were the first contact, the bridge between this reborn humanity and the rest of the galaxy. There will be fear, Zork said quietly. When the rest of the galaxy learns of your existence, many will see you as a threat. Guardian's hologram nodded solemnly. We know. That is why we need you, Captain Zork. You and your crew will be our ambassadors. Help us show the galaxy that we come in peace, that humanity's legacy is a gift, not a weapon. Zork looked at his crew, saw the mix of fear and excitement on their faces. He knew that their lives would never be the same. They stood at the threshold of a new era in galactic history. We'll do it, Zork said, straightening his posture. We'll help you. But I have one condition. Guardian raised an eyebrow, an eerily human gesture. And that is. Zork's eyes gleamed with determination. Teach us, show us everything. If we're to be your ambassadors, we need to understand. Guardian smiled, and the library around them hummed with energy. Very well, Captain. Let the lessons begin. The universe awaits, and humanity's greatest adventure is just beginning. As the holograms sprang to life once more, Zork and his crew prepared themselves for the greatest learning experience of their lives. The mystery of humanity was unraveling before them, and with it, the future of the galaxy was being rewritten. The news of Earth's awakening spread across the galaxy like wildfire. Captain Zork stood on the bridge of the Humanity's Hope, the flagship of the reborn human fleet. Beside him, Guardian's hologram flickered, its expression serious. They're here, Guardian said quietly. Zork nodded, his 4 eyes fixed on the view screen. A massive fleet of ships from various alien races had assembled at the edge of the solar system. It was clear they were not here for a friendly visit. Open a channel, Zork commanded, his voice steady despite his nervousness. The screen flickered to life, showing the faces of several alien leaders. Zork recognized many of them, representatives from the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. This is Captain Zork, he began, ambassador for Earth and its guardians. We come in peace. A Zorgan leader, his scaly face twisted in a scowl, spoke first. Peace. You awaken a fleet that could conquer the galaxy, and you speak of peace. Murmurs of agreement rippled through the other leaders. Zork could feel the tension rising. Guardian stepped forward, its holographic form projecting across space to appear before the alien fleet. We understand your fear, it said, its voice calm and reassuring. But we are not conquerors. We are explorers, seekers of knowledge. We wish to share, not to dominate. A Galaxian ambassador, her crystalline form shimmering, spoke next. How can we trust you? This power you wield, it's beyond anything we've seen. Zork took a deep breath. This was the moment they had prepared for. We invite you to see for yourselves, he said. Send representatives. Let us show you what humanity left behind. Not weapons, but knowledge. Not conquest, but cooperation. The alien leaders murmured among themselves. Zork could see the conflict in their eyes, fear warring with curiosity. Suddenly, alarms blared across the Humanity's Hope. Zork spun around. What's happening? Guardian's expression turned grim. A faction of the Zorgan fleet is powering up weapons. They're preparing to attack. Zork's hearts raced. This was exactly what they had hoped to avoid. Can we stop them? Before Guardian could answer, a barrage of energy weapons erupted from the Zorgan ships. They streaked across space towards Earth and its fleet. What happened next left everyone, even Zork, in awe. The attack simply disappeared, absorbed by an energy field that sprang into existence around Earth and its ships. Impossible, whispered the Zorgan leader, his face pale with shock. Guardian's voice rang out, firm but not unkind. We do not wish to fight, but we will defend ourselves. This technology, this power, it can be used for great good. Let us show you how. With a gesture, Guardian brought to life a massive hologram visible to all the assembled fleets. It showed scenes of devastated worlds being restored, of barren planets blooming with life, of advanced medical techniques curing diseases thought incurable. "This is the legacy of humanity," Guardian said. "Not war, but healing. Not destruction, but creation." The alien leaders watched in stunned silence. Even the Zorgan who had attacked seemed taken aback. Zork stepped forward again. "We stand at a crossroads," he said, his voice carrying across the vastness of space. "We can let fear drive us to conflict, or we can embrace this opportunity. To learn, to grow, to explore the universe together." He gestured to the Earth fleet behind him. "These ships, this technology, they're not just humanity's legacy. They can be a gift to all sentient life, but only if we choose to cooperate." A tense silence fell over the assembled fleets. Zork held his breath, waiting. Finally, the Exalaxian ambassador spoke. We would like to accept your invitation. To see, to learn." One by one, the other leaders agreed. Even the Zorgan, shamefaced, nodded their assent. As the tension dissipated, Zork felt a wave of relief wash over him. He turned to Guardian, a smile on his face. "It's a start," the AI said, its holographic eyes twinkling. Zork nodded. "A new beginning. For all of us." As the alien representatives prepared to board the Humanity's Hope, Zork couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. The legacy of a long-vanished race was about to change the course of galactic history, and he, a simple alien captain, was right at the heart of it all. The journey that humanity had begun 500,000 years ago was entering a new phase, and the whole galaxy was coming along for the ride. The news of Earth's awakening and its incredible technology spread across the galaxy faster than anyone could have imagined. Captain Zork found himself at the center of a storm of galactic politics and diplomacy. Zork stood in the grand meeting hall of the Galactic Council, a place he had only heard about in stories. Representatives from thousands of worlds filled the room, their voices a low murmur of excitement and fear. Guardian's hologram stood beside him, its presence both reassuring and intimidating. The AI had become a symbol of humanity's legacy, a beacon of both hope and uncertainty for the galaxy. The head of the Galactic Council, a tall, ethereal being known as the Arbiter, called for silence. The room fell quiet. "We are here," the Arbiter began, "to discuss the most significant event in our collective history, the return of humanity's legacy and the implications it holds for us all." Zork stepped forward, his heart racing. "Esteemed members of the Council," he said, his voice steady despite his nervousness, "I stand before you not just as a captain, but as a bridge between two eras. The Earth fleet offers us unimaginable opportunities, but I understand it also brings fear." A Volok's representative, his gelatinous form quivering with emotion, spoke up. "Fear. It's more than fear. This technology could destroy us all. How do we know these? These ghosts of humanity won't decide to conquer us." Murmurs of agreement rippled through the chamber. Zork could feel the tension rising. Guardian stepped forward, its holographic form growing to fill the center of the room. "We understand your concerns," it said, its voice calm but powerful. "But consider this. If conquest was our goal, would we be here, talking? With the power we possess, we could have subjugated the galaxy already. Instead, we choose dialogue. We choose cooperation." The room fell silent, contemplating Guardian's words. A Zaxar scientist, her multifaceted eyes glittering with curiosity, spoke next. "The technology you possess, it could solve problems we've struggled with for millennia. Disease, resource scarcity, environmental degradation." Guardian nodded. "Exactly. Humanity's legacy is not one of destruction, but of creation and problem-solving. We offer this knowledge freely, to be used for the betterment of all sentient life." The Arbiter raised a hand, silencing the excited whispers that had broken out. "This is unprecedented," it said. Never in our history have we faced such a monumental decision. The power you offer could reshape the very fabric of our society." Zork took a deep breath. This was the moment that would define the future of the galaxy. "Change is always frightening," he said, looking around the room. "But it's also an opportunity. I've seen what this technology can do. I've walked on dead worlds brought back to life. I've seen incurable diseases vanquished in moments. This is not just humanity's legacy. It can be our shared future." The chamber erupted in discussion. Zork could see the conflict on the faces of the representatives. Fear warring with hope, suspicion with curiosity. A Dracon elder, his ancient eyes filled with wisdom, spoke slowly. "We cannot ignore the potential dangers, but neither can we turn our backs on this opportunity. I propose we form a joint committee, representatives from all our worlds, working alongside Guardian and the Earth Fleet. Together, we can explore this new frontier safely." The suggestion was met with nods of approval. Even the most skeptical representatives seemed to see the wisdom in this approach. The Arbiter turned to Zork and Guardian. "Would this be acceptable to you?" Guardian's hologram smiled. "It is exactly what we hoped for. Cooperation, shared discovery, mutual growth. This is the true legacy of humanity, bringing diverse minds together to tackle the universe's greatest challenges." As the council voted overwhelmingly to accept the proposal, Zork felt a weight lift from his shoulders. The path ahead would not be easy, but it was a path they would walk together. As the session ended and representatives swarmed around him, eager to learn more, Zork caught Guardian's eye. The eye's hologram gave him a small nod of approval. In that moment, Zork realized that this was just the beginning. The galaxy was entering a new age, one shaped by the echoes of a long-vanished race and the united efforts of all sentient beings. The legacy of humanity was no longer just a memory. It was the key to the future of the entire galaxy. 5 years had passed since the day Earth's fleet awakened and shook the galaxy to its core. Captain Zork stood on the observation deck of the Humanity's Hope, gazing out at the spectacle before him. A massive space station, unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen, hung in orbit around a once-dead world. Ships from 100 different species darted around it, their designs a mix of their own technology and the legacy of humanity. Guardian's hologram appeared beside him. "Quite a sight, isn't it?" the AI said, its voice filled with pride. Zork nodded, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. "I never imagined we'd come so far in such a short time." The station, aptly named Unity, was the physical embodiment of the changes that had swept the galaxy. It was a place where species from across the cosmos came together to learn, to share, and to grow. As Zork watched, a ship he recognized as Zorgan in origin docked at the station. He couldn't help but smile, remembering the tension of their first encounter years ago. "The Zorgan delegation is here for the medical technology exchange," Guardian informed him. "Their scientists have made remarkable progress in adapting our regeneration techniques to their physiology." Zork nodded, feeling a sense of pride. The journey hadn't been easy, but moments like these made it all worthwhile. A chime sounded, indicating an incoming transmission. A holographic screen appeared before them, showing the face of Sela, Zork's former science officer. She now led one of the many joint research teams scattered across the galaxy. "Captain, Guardian," she greeted them, her tentacles waving excitedly. "We've done it. The Andromeda project is a success." Zork's hearts raced with excitement. The Andromeda project had been one of their most ambitious undertakings, an attempt to establish communication with the neighboring Andromeda galaxy. Guardian's hologram seemed to glow brighter. "Excellent work, Sela. This opens up a whole new frontier for exploration." As Sela shared the details of their breakthrough, Zork found his mind wandering back to the beginning of this journey. He remembered the fear, the uncertainty, the nearly disastrous first contact. And yet, here they were, on the brink of intergalactic communication. The call ended, and Zork turned to Guardian. "Did they ever imagine this?" he asked quietly. The humans who created you, did they know what their legacy would become? Guardian was silent for a moment, its holographic form flickering slightly as if in deep thought. I believe they hoped, it finally said. In their final days, facing extinction, they dared to dream of a future they would never see. They poured all their knowledge, their hopes, their very essence into creating us, trusting that someday, somehow, it would make a difference. Zork felt a wave of emotion wash over him. The weight of that trust, that hope, still amazed him. A new alert sounded. Guardian's expression turned serious. The council is assembling. It's time. Zork straightened his posture. Today was a big day. The council would be voting on the proposal to send the first joint expedition beyond the galaxy's edge, into the vast unknown of intergalactic space. As they made their way to the council chambers, Zork saw faces from a dozen different species, scientists, diplomats, explorers, all united by a shared sense of purpose and wonder. The council session was brief. The vote was unanimous. As the chamber erupted in cheers, Zork felt a sense of déjà vu. Once again, they stood on the brink of a new era. Guardian turned to him, its holographic eyes shining with an almost human excitement. "Well, Captain," it said, "it seems our journey is far from over." Zork nodded, a smile spreading across his face. "Indeed it isn't. But this time, we're not alone." As they left the council chambers, Zork paused to look out a window. The Unity Station hung there, a beacon of cooperation and shared dreams. Beyond it, the stars beckoned, each one holding new mysteries, new challenges, new wonders to explore. The legacy of humanity had done more than just survive. It had thrived, growing and evolving in ways its creators could never have imagined. And in doing so, it had given the galaxy a priceless gift, a future filled with limitless possibilities. As Zork watched a new fleet of ships prepare for the intergalactic expedition, he knew that the greatest adventure was just beginning. The echoes of humanity's last great act would resound across the cosmos for eons to come, a testament to the enduring power of hope, creativity, and the indomitable spirit of life itself.